Have you noticed people around you acting strangely, almost as if they're breaking under the weight of their own emotions? If you're a chosen one, you've probably encountered this before. People around you project their struggles, their inner battles, onto you. And while it may feel confusing or even hurtful, it's essential to recognize these signs, to protect your own peace. Emotionally breaking people often struggle to face the truth within themselves. When they interact with you, their discomfort grows because they sense you're not afraid of that same truth. Instead of sharing their burdens, they keep interactions surface level, engaging only in small talk. This isn't an accident or a sign of harmless personality differences. It's their attempt to hide from their own unresolved emotions. Deep down they know that opening up even a little could crack the facade they've worked so hard to build. For you, as someone who often yearns for meaning, this avoidance can feel dismissive, almost like a rejection of the depth you naturally bring into every interaction. You might notice these individuals deflecting topics that veer too close to vulnerability. Rather than addressing real-life struggles or dreams, they keep it safe, discussing only the most trivial things. They cling to the superficial because facing reality terrifies them. In their world, opening up means being seen, truly seen, for who they are. For people on the verge of emotional collapse, being seen feels threatening. It's why they may turn tense, even anxious, if you start asking deeper questions. They fear that even a brief look into their inner world would expose all the cracks and flaws they try to conceal. They feel as though they're hiding behind a mask, and the mask is beginning to crumble. Imagine being able to strip away all the pretenses, and that's the level of authenticity you naturally bring. That same authenticity, though, feels unsettling to them. For someone in emotional turmoil, honesty can feel raw and unmanageable. Their avoidance of depth is a self-defense mechanism, a way to dodge the mirror you represent. With you, they risk being exposed, and to them that exposure feels like vulnerability they can't handle. Over time, this avoidance can lead to a strange loneliness for you. Though they may be physically present, there's an emotional absence that speaks volumes. They don't truly engage or connect, because to them, your depth is a constant reminder of their own unwillingness to confront what lies within. The conversations stay shallow because they're hiding from themselves as much as they're hiding from you. For you, it may feel as if they're shutting down your need for connection. They may change the subject quickly, or brush off significant topics with humor. This isn't a mere preference, it's a shield, a way to dodge the pain of self-reflection. They want to remain hidden, protected from their own thoughts, but they can't fully block the energy you bring. Recognize these interactions for what they are, signs that they're not ready for the kind of connection you seek. Their reluctance isn't personal, it's a reflection of their inner conflict, their struggle to face themselves. As a chosen one, you bring light, but light is something they're not prepared to let in. They cling to the shadows because stepping into the light with you means shedding their armor. Let go of the need to fix this dynamic or force depth where it's not wanted. Their distance isn't something you're responsible for closing. Instead, value the connections that do engage with your depth and reflect the honesty you offer. Their avoidance is a reflection of their discomfort, a temporary state that doesn't define your own worth or the power of your truth. Emotionally breaking individuals often display unpredictable behavior, swinging between warmth and coldness with alarming frequency. One moment they may be attentive and caring, making you feel valued and close. But almost without warning they shift, becoming distant, aloof, or even irritable. This inconsistency isn't due to something you've done. Rather, it's a projection of the inner turbulence they're experiencing, a telltale sign of emotional instability. Their emotional chaos manifests in unpredictable actions. These shifts may leave you feeling as though you're constantly walking on eggshells, unsure of what version of them you'll encounter on any given day. When they're in a good place, they seem approachable. But as soon as something triggers their inner struggles, they pull back, creating a painful and often confusing distance. This pattern can be frustrating, even painful, as you might begin to question yourself, wondering if you did something to cause their sudden withdrawal. But these inconsistencies have little to do with you. Instead, they reflect their inner confusion and inability to manage their emotions. They're cycling through emotions they can't regulate, and unfortunately, you're caught in the crossfire. As a chosen one, your presence may amplify this inconsistency. You act as a mirror, reflecting back to them their own lack of inner peace. They may find your steadiness threatening because it reminds them of the emotional steadiness they lack. They both crave and resist this reflection, leading them to oscillate between closeness and distance. In moments of warmth, they're drawn to your energy, comforted by your calmness. But as soon as they start feeling the contrast between your energy and their instability, they retreat. They feel exposed in your presence because you hold a mirror to the unresolved parts of themselves they prefer to keep hidden. Their closeness is real, but it's conditional, limited by how comfortable they feel within their own emotions at any given time. This inconsistency can make you feel as if they're keeping you on an emotional roller coaster, and it's not your job to stabilize their fluctuations. The key here is to observe without internalizing. Their oscillations are a reflection of their struggle, not a reflection of your worth. You are simply a witness to their journey, not the cause or solution for their instability. As they pull away or become cold, remind yourself that this has everything to do with them, not with you. Their distance is a protective mechanism, a way to manage the vulnerability they feel when exposed to your steady presence. Your job isn't to adapt to their highs and lows, but to remain true to your own energy, allowing their inconsistency to reveal itself without being absorbed into your reality. When I realized that their chaos wasn't mine to carry, that it was rooted in their own journey, something powerful changed. I stopped trying to understand or fix what wasn't mine, and instead learned the strength of detachment. This space I hold for myself is sacred, a place where I protect my peace and let others cycle through their own paths. This is why I created Obsidian Inner Order, powered by Astral Atom. It's a sanctuary for those who understand the value of inner peace and the power of letting go. In Obsidian Inner Order, you'll connect with others who know how to hold their own space. People who recognize that detachment isn't a loss, it's a strength. Here we support each other in staying grounded, in witnessing the journeys of others without absorbing their chaos, and in reclaiming the calm we deserve. The link is in the description below. Emotionally struggling individuals often gravitate toward those they perceive as stable, particularly when they're in moments of need. You may find that they only reach out when they're facing a crisis, looking to you for support, reassurance, or a sense of stability they can't find within themselves. They know, perhaps unconsciously, that you are a grounding force, and so they come to you when their own lives feel chaotic. This pattern, however, can create an unbalanced relationship dynamic. They come to you as a resource, using your energy as a temporary fix for their deeper issues. They may not intend to exploit you, but their repeated reliance on you during their moments of need can begin to feel draining, as if they're taking more than they're giving. When they reach out in times of distress, it's easy to feel valued, as if you're fulfilling a purpose. But over time you may notice a pattern. These individuals rarely seek you out for a genuine connection, only when they need something. It's not companionship they're after, it's the comfort your presence provides, a soothing balm for their internal wounds. This dynamic can leave you feeling as if you're merely a safety net, there to catch them when they fall, but not truly included in their day-to-day lives. They may shower you with appreciation in times of crisis, only to disappear once they feel stable again. As a chosen one, it's important to recognize that they're seeking your light, not necessarily your friendship. In these interactions, ask yourself, are they reaching out to truly connect with you, or are they simply seeking refuge? Observe how often they appear only when they're in need, and how they disappear when things are going well for them. This pattern is a reflection of their inner emptiness and their search for temporary relief from their struggles. Understand that you are not responsible for being their lifeline. While it's natural to want to help, you're under no obligation to be the constant source of their stability. Being a chosen one doesn't mean sacrificing your own energy for others' unending needs, especially when they're unwilling to offer reciprocal support. Setting boundaries is crucial here. Recognize that their neediness is a projection of their instability. You have a right to protect your own energy, to say no when their requests feel too draining or unbalanced. Don't let their urgency become your burden. Their need for you doesn't define your worth. Ultimately, their one-sided reliance on you is a symptom of their own struggles, not a reflection of your value. By standing firm in your boundaries, you're allowing them to confront their own inner challenges, to find strength from within, rather than relying on you as a constant source of energy. Emotionally unstable individuals often put up walls, separating different aspects of their lives to avoid exposing their vulnerabilities. They may avoid introducing you to their friends, family, or significant life events, keeping you at arm's length from their inner circle. This exclusion isn't because you're not valued. It's because they're protecting their own insecurities. For someone on the verge of emotional breakdown, maintaining control is crucial. By limiting your access to their personal world, they create a sense of safety, a barrier between you and the parts of themselves they find unworthy or broken. It's a way of keeping you out, shielding you from the reality they struggle to accept within themselves. This separation can feel hurtful, making you feel as if you're being sidelined. You might wonder why they keep you away from significant parts of their life, especially when you're offering authenticity and connection. But remember, their need for secrecy is not about you. It's about managing their own discomfort with exposure. They may fear that by bringing you closer, you'll see the parts of them they wish to hide. You, as a chosen one, represent truth and light, and letting you into their world means revealing the shadows they carry. To them, this level of vulnerability feels terrifying. They believe that by keeping you out, they can retain some semblance of control over their own fragile self-image. This avoidance may create feelings of isolation for you. It's as if you're kept in the periphery, close enough to care but never fully allowed into their world. They may offer you glimpses of their life, but always maintain a certain distance, a gap they're unwilling to bridge. It's not about a lack of connection. It's about their fear of being seen fully. Allow yourself to accept this boundary without feeling diminished by it. Recognize that their reluctance to let you in is rooted in their need for control, a way to protect themselves from the vulnerability they fear. Their exclusion of you is a form of self-protection, a way to avoid facing their own insecurities. Release the need to prove yourself to them, to earn a place in their inner circle. Instead, focus on cultivating connections with those who welcome you fully, who aren't afraid to let you into every part of their lives. You deserve relationships that embrace your presence without reservation. Emotionally unstable individuals often shy away from commitment because it requires them to confront vulnerabilities they're not prepared to face. Commitment signifies a level of stability and security that challenges their chaotic inner world. When they avoid defining the relationship, dismiss discussions about the future, or refuse to label your bond, it's not a reflection of your worth, but a reflection of their own inability to handle the emotional demands that commitment brings. They may justify this hesitation with vague statements, claiming they want to keep things open or see where things go. But underneath, they're struggling to balance their desire for closeness with their fear of emotional exposure. For someone grappling with inner turmoil, the idea of being fully committed feels like a trap, one that would force them to confront their fears of inadequacy and imperfection. When they resist commitment, it can create a profound sense of uncertainty for you. You might find yourself questioning your role in their life, wondering if they truly care or if you're simply a placeholder until they figure themselves out. But understand, this reluctance stems from their own fears, not from a lack of value in you. They fear that commitment would make them responsible for not only your happiness, but for keeping their own instability in check. This fear of commitment also serves as a form of self-protection. By keeping things undefined, they give themselves an escape route, a way out should their emotional struggles overwhelm them. They're not ready to be vulnerable, so they keep things vague, creating a relationship without roots. It's not because they don't feel anything for you. It's because they're afraid of facing the weight of true connection. For a chosen one like you, who brings stability and purpose, this ambivalence can be challenging. You're ready to connect deeply, to nurture a meaningful bond. Their avoidance, however, leaves you in limbo, forcing you to question the future of the relationship. But know that their unwillingness to commit is not a sign of your inadequacy. It's a sign that they're not prepared to handle the intensity of an authentic relationship. Recognize that their hesitation is their struggle, not yours. Avoid the temptation to fix this issue, as their commitment phobia stems from a personal journey they must undertake. You cannot force them to face what they're not ready to confront. Your role isn't to heal them, but to hold space for yourself, to seek a partnership that meets your emotional needs. As difficult as it may be, consider setting boundaries around the level of openness you offer in return. Value your time, energy, and emotional well-being. Don't let their fear of commitment cause you to doubt your worthiness of a fulfilling relationship. Remember, you deserve someone who values and reciprocates your desire for connection. Ultimately, their inability to commit reflects their own unresolved fears, not a measure of your value. Let go of the need for their validation and seek relationships that align with your own sense of purpose and stability. By valuing your own worth, you create space for those who are ready and willing to embrace the depth and commitment you naturally bring. People who are emotionally breaking often rely on guilt and blame as tools to deflect responsibility from themselves. When confronted with their own emotional struggles, they may accuse you of being too demanding, too sensitive, or too emotional. These accusations are projections, a way for them to offload their insecurities onto you so they can avoid facing their own shortcomings. This projection of guilt is often subtle, taking the form of passive-aggressive comments or dismissive statements that make you question your own needs and boundaries. By turning the focus onto you, they create a smokescreen, making you doubt your own feelings and actions. They deflect the accountability they fear, placing the burden of responsibility on you instead. This blame shifting can be especially confusing as it distorts the truth and makes you second-guess your instincts. When they accuse you of being too much or difficult, they're really describing the discomfort they feel with their own emotions. Rather than admitting their struggles, they choose to make you feel as though you're the problem. It's a way for them to avoid the self-reflection they're not yet prepared to undertake. In moments of guilt projection, remember that their accusations are a defense mechanism. They're using guilt as a barrier to keep you from holding up a mirror to their own unresolved issues. By projecting their insecurities onto you, they manage to maintain the illusion of control, deflecting any potential threat to their fragile self-image. As a chosen one, you may find yourself feeling overly responsible for their emotions, as if it's your job to make them feel secure. But this is a trap. Their insecurities are theirs to manage, not yours to resolve. They may manipulate you into believing that your own boundaries are unreasonable or that your needs are excessive, but this is simply a reflection of their own discomfort with accountability. The challenge lies in resisting this manipulation. Don't let their projections redefine your own sense of self-worth or your understanding of your needs. Trust in your own perspective, remembering that their use of guilt is an attempt to avoid their own emotional work. By recognizing this pattern, you can step back, viewing their blame shifting as a symptom of their own inner turmoil rather than a genuine criticism of you. Holding on to your truth is key. Understand that their accusations say more about them than they do about you. Stand firm in your boundaries and resist the urge to absorb their projections. This doesn't make you unkind or unsupportive. It simply means you're refusing to carry the weight of their unresolved issues. Their guilt tactics are a reflection of their need to offload their insecurities, not a reflection of your value. Protect your peace by remembering that you are not responsible for fixing them. Their journey to self-awareness is theirs to navigate, and you don't need to bear the emotional weight they attempt to place on you. Emotionally breaking individuals may feel threatened by the ambition, purpose, and light that chosen ones carry within. When you share your aspirations or achievements, they may downplay them, offer lukewarm responses, or simply ignore your progress altogether. This lack of support isn't about the merit of your dreams, it's about their own insecurities, a reflection of how your success magnifies their feelings of inadequacy. To someone wrestling with unresolved emotions, your growth can feel intimidating. Your ambitions act as a mirror, highlighting the contrast between your journey and their stagnation. Rather than celebrate with you, they downplay your success to protect themselves from the uncomfortable truth that they haven't pursued their own dreams. Your light unintentionally shines a spotlight on the darkness they're hiding. This dismissiveness can be incredibly disheartening, as it may feel like they're actively undermining your success. You may wonder why someone who claims to care for you fails to show excitement or pride in your accomplishments. But understand, their lack of support is not a measure of your worth. It's a reflection of their internal struggle, their inability to celebrate what reminds them of their own fears. Your achievements represent a level of clarity and direction they struggle to find within themselves. By dismissing your goals, they attempt to downplay the contrast, as if minimizing your success will allow them to feel less pressure to confront their own lack of direction. To them, your ambition feels like a silent judgment, a reminder of everything they feel they're lacking. Rather than allowing their indifference to weigh on you, view it as an opportunity to reaffirm your own belief in your goals. Know that their reactions are shaped by their insecurities, not by an accurate assessment of your path. Stand firm in your vision, knowing that their inability to support you is a reflection of their own shadows, not a reflection of your worth or potential. Resist the urge to seek validation from them. Chosen ones don't need external validation to know their worth. Your dreams and goals are yours to cherish, regardless of who acknowledges them. Focus on surrounding yourself with those who uplift and support your aspirations. People who share in your excitement and honor your journey. Their indifference to your growth speaks to their own limitations. They see you reaching for the stars and feel anchored by their own self-doubt. Rather than letting this dishearten you, let it fuel your determination. Recognize that your journey is a testament to your courage, a path only you can walk. Their lack of enthusiasm doesn't diminish the significance of your dreams. Continue pursuing your goals with pride, knowing that your light serves as both inspiration and illumination, regardless of who chooses to walk beside you. Recognizing these patterns and behaviors in others can be an eye-opening and often painful experience. But as a chosen one, understanding these signs isn't about judgment or blame, it's about awareness and self-preservation. Each of these actions, the avoidance of depth, inconsistency, reaching out only in times of need, exclusion from their personal lives, resistance to commitment, projection of guilt, and dismissal of your dreams, speaks to the inner struggles that others are carrying, not a reflection of who you are. Your journey as a chosen one isn't to absorb these projections or to take them personally. Rather, it's to see them for what they are, reflections of others' unprocessed emotions, a map of their own insecurities and fears. By recognizing these signs, you're empowering yourself to stand firm in your truth and protect your energy. You're learning to navigate your relationships without allowing the emotional instability of others to disturb your peace. Remember, you are here to bring light, not to drown in the shadows of others' turmoil. Your purpose is to walk your path with integrity, clarity, and compassion. Allow others to face their own inner battles, while you continue to nurture your own growth, dreams, and sense of self-worth. These behaviors, though challenging, serve as reminders of the strength you carry within and the importance of protecting your heart and mind. Stay rooted in your purpose, and let your light be a guiding force, not only for yourself but for those who are ready to awaken to their own potential. Your presence alone is transformative, but transformation doesn't mean self-sacrifice. Honor your boundaries, seek connections that uplift and support you, and remember that your worth is not defined by the emotional turbulence of those around you. You are not here to carry the weight of others' unresolved pain. You are here to shine, to rise, and to live in alignment with the highest version of yourself. By recognizing these patterns and protecting your energy, you're freeing yourself to continue your path without being hindered by others' limitations. Stand tall, chosen one, and remember that your light is unstoppable.